Welcome back to the MMore Life Podcast. Another episode, another guest. Today we have another special guest. We have Sean, otherwise known as Slip.
What's up, guys?
We've been working on this guest for a while now. Actually, this has been in the making for probably 2 months, I'd say.
A couple months, yeah.
It's hard to get him locked down. Slippery guy, but we were able to do it. So
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we were able to pull it off. I think your full rap name's Slipfish.
Yep.
I think the one question everyone would want to know is why Slipfish?
That's a good question. So, my name, I've gone by Slip for a long time. My coach in high school, my sports coach, he nicknamed me Slip, and it was short for slippery. And people just really gravitated towards it and liked it, and it chose me more than I chose it.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I just been going by Slip for forever. And when I first started making music, I went by Slip Stones. And then, I got a little bit older, and once I kind of came back to it and started taking it really seriously, I wanted to throw a bit of a rebrand on there and something that I thought was going to fit my new sound and what I wanted to do moving forward. And I was just kind of brainstorming some ideas with my friend, like just in a basement, how, homies do. And we were just throwing out a bunch of silly shit. And then I said Slip Fish out loud. And I just knew it immediately in that moment, never wavered from it. As soon as I said it, I was like, yo, that's just pretty tough. And It just kind of felt like it would fit my sound. And I don't know. I never wavered. I just stuck with it from that point on. It felt good.
Yeah.
I feel like the name is one of those things once you hear it or you think of it, okay, that's it. That's what I want it to be. That fits my brand or whatever I'm going towards. Because I remember we were coming up with our name just for this podcast.
Yeah.
And that was a process because we couldn't agree on one thing, or that we'd have one idea, we're like, no, that's not the same. But then we ended up on MMore Life, and it was like, oh yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to move through life as much as possible. Is you're actively thinking about things and brainstorming, absolutely. But when you see it or when you hear it, and that's just kind of how it came about.
Yeah. So I actually do have a question for you. So Matt's introduced me to some of your music. As an artist, a creator, what's your inspiration for how you get through your lyrics? What's that process like?
Well, the best songs happen in the snap of a finger, or really could happen in 15, 20 minutes, an entire song, under an hour for sure. I don't really think that hard about it. It's most things that you do, it's just about reps. It's one of the coolest parts of life is you can just get good at anything you want to if you're willing to put the time and effort in and you have passion for it. I think I have a natural skill set towards being able to articulate and writing. I was always a good writer, and just kind of transferred that skill set into writing music and songs. And my process is I completely fall in love with a beat first. I have to want to date the beat and then marry the beat and then wake up in the morning and make breakfast with the beat.
Oh yeah. What are we making? Eggs, avocado toast, pancakes? What we got here?
Eggs, avocado, whatever the beat asks for, really. And yeah, I love it because you're gonna hear it a lot, even before I'll write my music where I'm just writing and almost by the time I know the end of I get to the end of the song, I already know the whole song. I don't have to read off of anything when I record it. I just kind of get to a point where I know it already when it gets start to being finished. So you hear a beat a lot, and when you record it, you hear it a lot, and then you mix and master it, and then I might sit on songs for years before they even come out. So you come to find you have to be in love with the beat. I get complimented a lot on my beat selection and the beats that I use, and it's one of the best compliments I can receive because I really put a lot of time into that. So like I'll listen to beats a lot, and then like if something grabs me, lyrics will kind of just start flowing out. But it really is, you'll hear similar stories from a lot of artists of just like the best songs happen very, very quickly. There are some times where I'll keep opening it up because I love the beat and I love what I got going so much, but there'll be blockages and I'll just put it away and then come back to it at a time that feels good. And I'll keep trying to make something happen if I love it enough, but it honestly just happens very naturally. I don't think too much about it. Just whatever is on my mind, I just throw it out there. And I think that's the best way to go. If you guys make music or you're listening and want to do stuff like that, like you can make a song and you don't have to release it. You don't even have to show anybody.
Yeah.
So like I just make whatever's on my mind in that day, whatever mood I'm in, I just make it, and then I kind of decide how I feel about it at a later date. Honestly.
So from based off your answer on that, we had this conversation on a different episode recently, actually. Some people listen to music, like as a fan perspective, some people listen to music for like the beat and the sound, and some people listen to music for like the lyrics.
Yep.
When you're listening to music other than yourself, where do you find yourself swaying more towards?
You gotta marry it all together. That's what great songs are. They make you feel something. And obviously the instruments and the music behind it just meshes perfectly with the lyrics. It's gotta be a full thing. If I don't, though, I think I know what you're saying though, and like I don't jive with a song if I don't like the lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just listen to a beat because the beat is fire. Like you got to do something special with it. But I'll make exceptions for some like I don't have to like resonate with the lyrics like I live that or anything like that, but like it has to I just respect the game and the artistry of it so much. Like it has to feel like it's authentic to the person that's saying it.
Okay.
And you can always feel that, right?
Yeah,
When you're listening
usually,
to a song, like you can kind of tell like if this person really lives this life and if this is like these lyrics mean something to them, or like that's how they operate, or if they're just throwing some bullshit onto a beat and calling it a day.
It out there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gotta be the whole thing. I like to think that I have good taste in music and that I'm critical about it. I like to keep my palate fresh with listening to good music regularly. I think it probably helps my mindset to make good music and better music.
All right. So you say you listen to good music. What kind of music are you listening to?
Everything, really.
Any specific artists out there?
Yeah, who's your favorite right now? Who you got a kick for?
Yeah, no, I'll give a shout out. My favorite artist right now is a kid named Trevor Spitta. Super fly, super dope. He is from New Jersey, lives in LA. He's kind of a younger guy, but super, super good music. I listen to Larry June. All time, like Mac Miller is probably my all-time favorite artist. I'm super inspired by what he was able to accomplish in his time. Just absolutely incredible. But I really range genres super all over the place. Like I love older music. You could really catch me listening to anything. I don't listen to like heavy metal as much or country as much, but I'll still dabble in it if it feels good in the moment.
Do you listen to Logic at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked that because I remember like Matt showing me a few of your songs and like your flow, how you like just how you sing it and rap it. Like it kind of sounds like a similar cadence to like a few like Logic songs. That's why I thought to ask. It kind of sounds a little bit like Logic a little bit. But
yeah, that's a compliment.
I think it's
highly
like
tactical.
Sort of like your tone of voice almost.
Yeah, that
like
too.
Logic
maybe.
is very like fast paced.
Yep.
You're a little more slow paced, but I think it's your tone. I don't know, just the way you sound. Kind
like
of
I can think of a Logic song in my head. I don't know which one, but and I also think like that's like how Slip sounded.
Right. Yeah. Like a lot of the times, when you're a musician or rapper, anything like that, you need to have like a unique sound, a unique voice.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you know, if you just kind of have like a generic, like just kind of going with the flow,
Yeah.
not to.
Well, think about like some of the biggest rappers, like Drake, Kanye, Kendrick Lamar. They all have like a certain sound to them, you know,
They do,
certain
yeah.
tone. So
Yep, but yeah, I'd say your voice does kind of a little bit remind me of like a Logic tone a little bit.
I appreciate that. That's really cool just because he's so good. But that's a really cool point that you guys are bringing up. And what I like about it is that anyone can do it. You just have to put in that time and effort. Like it's cool. Like it's not like my voice or my skills were like are like God given natural ability.
Right.
Like, you know, I had to hone them in and develop them. And like, I think that's such a cool aspect of life that is attainable to anybody in anything they want to do. You know, you want to make pizzas. You don't need to know what you're doing. You can just figure it out. You want to be the best podcasters in the world. You guys have that capability.
Especially nowadays, all
It's
that
cool.
stuff. I mean, you look at just technology in general. You can just go on Google it, man. Like, learn,
Yeah.
teach yourself.
yeah, you have a computer or the whole world like at your fingertips in your pocket.
Yeah.
Might as well take advantage of it.
It's that, but it's just like you just gotta want it. You gotta really,
yourself,
really
yeah.
want it. Yeah, you gotta. If you really want something and you're willing to will it into existence and figure it out, I think that's the most powerful thing in the whole world. Is just like the really having the deep desire, like the burning desire to do something, and those people win. They figure it out, and I really admire that about a lot of people.
Nice. Well, I got a couple songs. I don't know, Mike, if you've done much research at all, or I know we both listened to it for a little bit, but I feel like I've been listening to Slip probably a little bit longer. I do have a couple songs that are kind of towards the top of my list as far as favorites. I think the latest song that you just released, Dope Heads on Mopeds, that's up there. I think that's probably one of your best work, honestly, in my opinion. It could be because it's new, I'm not sure, but I think it's definitely like a top 4 for you.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. I think it all came together there with the chorus being catchy and the lyrics, the verses being like delivered with some precision, and there's definitely a storytelling aspect to it too. Like, it's like I'm a little bit too biased, I think, to really have a clear opinion. But when I listen to it, it's like I feel like there's like imagery there where you can like kind of like understand and see what I'm talking about without even like really knowing me, or like you kind of feel like, oh, I kind of know this kid a little bit. I relate to this. Like, you know, he's just kind of telling his story and how it is. But I do appreciate it. I think the beat is super fire too. So that didn't hurt.
I like that one. I like, there's 2 more. I like Pizzazz. I know
Yep.
that's kind of earlier for you, but
That's a fan favorite, for sure.
that one's
Yeah.
very good. And then, I don't know, this one might not be as popular, but What We Need.
Okay, cool.
I like that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's really awesome. I love that song. Shout out to Reagan, who helps kill that chorus. Yeah, she's super dope.
Yeah, but
that's
those
awesome.
were, so I kind of went in on what songs I like. Do you have any songs right now that, like, you're, like, a specific song you're super proud of? And, like, if you met someone that never listened to you at all, what song are you showing them?
Oh, that's such a good question. It's hard because
Because we got a bunch of listeners right now that maybe don't listen to you.
Yeah, maybe like what's like, I guess the question's like, what's one song that like kind of captures the theme of your like art or creativity the best?
Oh man, I think it would probably, of what's released right now, it would probably boil down to Dope Heads on Mopeds, Pizzazz, or maybe Cannoli.
Yep.
There's some people that really like that
Yeah,
one.
I think you showed me that one, Matt.
Including
that was a
myself.
good one too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah. Between those 3, I also think a bit of a sleeper might be UFO. But yeah, really, they all tell their own story. I have a song called 93 that it wouldn't be the one I tell people if I just met them in passing to go and check out. But That song means a lot to me, and it's got a really nice saxophone in it. And if you're in the right space, in the right headspace, really, that one will speak to you, I think, for sure.
Nice. And after listening to a lot of your music, I often hear a lot of references to the Bills, so you're a local homeboy, so that's sweet. But I also hear a lot of reference to food.
Yeah.
So I got a kind of creative question here for you.
Let's do it.
So if you could take your music and transform it into a plate of food, what would it be?
Oh, wow. Something extravagant.
If you need a little bit of time to think about that, we can
table it. Yeah.
I think you'd be looking at like crazy elite pan-seared salmon. Maybe with like a little hot honey drizzle on it.
All right, hot honey.
Or either
Little
that
spice in
or
there?
like a nice dill sauce over top of it.
Yeah.
On a bed of rice, like seasoned rice or a risotto of some sort, maybe even an orzo.
Okay.
He's just describing his dinner from last night. First thing you can think of.
Definitely wild caught salmon, no farm salmon.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
And then there got to be a little bit more of a side to it. Maybe like some like well done like buttery garlicky broccoli or something on the side. Yep. Or some spinach, but or honestly, if I was making it, it might come with like a avocado with a little bit of honey or maple syrup on it and some feta cheese on it. That's actually gonna be that's gonna be my answer. Let's go pan-seared salmon. The dill sauce on top of it, like a dill aioli, over a bed of seasoned rice with avocado, maple syrup, and feta on it on the side.
Wow.
Glass of water.
Top it off with a nice glass of water.
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds like a great meal.
It sounds like a good meal.
I'm getting hungry now.
That would describe my sound really well if that intrigues you.
Imagine someone just walks in the door with that exact plate like right now.
We got a chef in the kitchen cooking right now.
That'd be
He's
so
steaming
fly.
out right here.
That'd be so fly, yeah.
But yeah, so you're a Bills fan too, right?
Die hard.
Yeah. So
You want to know a fun fact?
Yeah.
I don't really share this a lot, but it is so cool to me. It's like, what are the chances? But me and the Buffalo Bills share the same birthday.
Wow, really?
Wow, really?
They're older than me, and I don't know how they claimed this day or chose this day. There might, maybe they looked at some old paperwork or something. But October 28th is the day that I turn a new age, and so do the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
And that is super fucking
I've
cool.
actually never knew the Bills, like that was their birthday, I guess. I never knew that.
they will post about it on that day, and I am waiting for the day that I get a little special shout out with it.
Yeah.
But I'll keep waiting. It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty cool fun fact to have, honestly.
Yeah, Die Hard over here.
You said you've done some interviewing too of some former players. You were saying to us as well.
Yep. Interviewed Levi Wallace. Huge shout out to him, big dog, and Stevie Johnson as well, who was my favorite Bills player growing up during the drought years.
Yeah, the tough times.
Yeah. Honorable mention to maybe my guy Marshawn Lynch. But Stevie really put on and still reps Buffalo very heavily, so that's really cool. He was my favorite. I was a wide receiver in high school as well, and I was like in high school when Stevie was playing, so it just aligned really well. I love the fact I really resonate with the underdog in life, and 7th round pick making it happen the way he did was super badass. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. What are you thinking about? Obviously, this is our last year at the Ralph, or whatever you want to call it nowadays. But what are you thinking about the new stadium? You trying to go to any games, or are you kind of waiting out a season to?
I'm gonna wait it out.
Prices go down a little bit.
Prices aren't going down.
No, they're staying high.
No, as long as we got JA, it's gonna be tough to afford. But I'm gonna lay low on it. I live pretty close to the stadium, so
Okay.
I will be getting lay of the land for the tailgating
Okay.
right off the rip,
Yep.
and
You have to.
then make my way home and watch the game. But very few things make me happier than being in front of the TV for a Bills game. Specifically like a 1 p.m.er, like that just gets my rocks off more than anything. 1 p.m. Bills are on the TV. Don't fucking talk to me
Yep.
unless we're talking about what's going on right,
Right
here,
there,
right
yeah.
now. And that just like something about it. It's like it's just a special experience. Always get some good food. Put that order in like 11:45 noon. Pick it up at 12:30.
Yep.
You're back at the crib 12:45.
All set up.
Yeah. I mean, and it's no rush. You maybe have one slice before the game, and then it's gonna be there for a commercial break, and throughout the whole game. And
Are you a superstitious guy? You have any superstitions?
not overly, but I do recognize patterns
Okay.
in general, and when I do feel like certain patterns lead to favorable outcomes, my superstition begins to grow a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm more of a just make it happen any place, anytime,
What's
not
like-
overly.
What's like an example of one of these patterns that you've noticed?
An example of a pattern I know. Give me like
don't know if
it
something
was
more
like- so
specific, because I'm
my
picking up
dad-
patterns on everything.
My dad, I think it was either a specific hat or the way he was wearing his hat. I think because he usually wears it. He usually wears it back, or no, he was wearing it forwards, but he noticed when he turned it backwards, we ended up winning the game. We came back and won. So a lot of the times, the rest of that season, he'd end up turning his hat backwards.
Okay, I do got one. Damn. Maybe I'm
I knew
a
it was in
little
there.
more superstitious than I think. But no, I have a like those like kind of like religious candles that you can buy at like Dollar Tree or some
Yeah.
shit, where there's like someone on the front, and it's like kind of all glass. You
Yeah.
gotta have one of those lighters that specifically goes down in there to light it.
Right.
I have a Josh Allen and a Dawson Knox candle. And so the first time I ever burnt it is when we 2 years ago, it was right around that time where we lost to the Broncos midseason. This is our last year with Diggs. Lost to the Broncos midseason because we had too many guys on the field. They missed the field goal. They went back out there. They kicked the field goal. We lost. We were like 6-6, and it looked like we very well might miss the playoffs. And maybe like a game or two after that, when we went on that crazy run, won out, and went into the playoffs. Right when that winning streak started was the first time I ever lit the Dawson Knox candle I had first, and we won, and we were on a streak. So I did feel like I was personally responsible a little bit for the success of the team. So now I have it set up every game. I did it every game last season, and we obviously had a great year during a rebuilding year. So I have it set up religious candle on the end, Josh, Dawson, another religious candle, so they're kind of surrounded by the spirits and the forces that
Right.
be.
You have to.
And I light those up about 1 p.m. or like 5 minutes before the game. And it is treated us very well. We've lost like 3 games of like the 18, 20 games I started doing it. So
So the kick's going wide, it curves like back in through the uprights. That's because of the candle.
exactly.
It moves it back in.
Exactly. So there is some superstition to it. I feel like everyone's got to play their part, whatever that means for you. We're it's a very tight knit community here, Bills Mafia.
Or if we're losing sometime next season, hit Slip up and make sure he has the candles lit.
I will.
Yep.
I will have them lit. But yeah, if we start losing and the candles are lit, I might have to switch it up, figure it out.
Yeah.
You know.
It's all about learning. Back to your music a little bit. I noticed, not all your songs, but some of your songs you put music videos to, and they're actually like really high quality.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
Thank you.
I was kind of surprised when I was first listening to you. I saw there's a music video, so I tuned in, I watched, and I was like, this is like professional.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sweet. How do you go about getting that?
My best friend, his name is Tommy Tat. He his company is called Icon Studios, and yeah, he's my best friend. We met. We went to the same college. I'm a little bit older than him, but I met him because I needed a cover photo, or like for a song done, and he was a photographer, and we linked up, and we for that, and we kind of just hit it off, and been very close friends ever since. And he shoots them. He shoots them. He edits them. We kind of direct them together, but yeah, it's just a massive shout out to him. I'm super proud of him, and I'm a really, really big fan of what he does. And, I couldn't be more grateful for his contributions, and I couldn't be just happier to call him my best friend. And I'm very happy to be in this journey with him. He's kind of like, basically my business partner. He kind of describes it as like I'm the audio and he's the visual, which is very true.
Yeah, that is.
He takes all the cover photos, or like basically every photo that I post is probably taken by him. We shoot a lot of film together, which has been a really fun journey, where we started off as digital a long time ago. And we basically, as far as like photographs, we almost shoot film exclusively now, which is really fun. And yeah, he does all the cover arts. And he's done a really great job with that. And up to this point, he has shot and edited all of the music videos I've released.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's good to have someone that you're like close with, especially when you're working with them, like producing creative type stuff. It's really
the
good.
Synergy is very important.
It's very important, right?
It's definitely played a role in the overall outcome of what's happened.
A lot of times you're like almost on the same like wavelength, like when you're thinking like brainstorming of things. Like I'm sure you guys brainstorm like how music videos are gonna go and stuff like that. When you have another person that's on the same wavelength as you, it's just different. Like it's hard to explain it, but
Perfectly
I know,
said, though.
Yeah,
it's
me
true.
and Mike, when we're talking about like podcasts, different episodes, even during some of the episodes, we're able to read each other's minds sometimes.
Yeah. And that has to happen before you ever do a podcast together.
Right.
You got to have like a couple of nights where you're like up 3, 4, 5 in the morning, sober, talking about life, or you got to be in the trenches with someone and like really understand and care about that person on a really deep level. And if you can get to that point, what you can do creatively together is kind of an endless possibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Good quote of the year right there.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of good
deep.
quotes. A lot of good quotes in this.
There are a lot of good quotes.
Yeah. Huge shout out to Tommy. Love you, brother. What's gonna be kind of fascinating. I have a new song coming out in July, and there is a music video that will accompany it. And it's going to be the first official music video release that he did not shoot.
Oh, okay.
And I'm really excited to unveil that as well. Be on the lookout for that. It's a really cool production.
Early July, late July? Because my birthday is personally late July, so it could be
What
a nice
day?
Early birthday present?
Yeah.
What can I guess? What day?
You can guess what day.
Look through your
What
soul.
What does his nose tell you?
Yeah. My nose looking
Let me see.
What's the schnoz saying?
Honestly, if he gets this on the spot, that's a crazy clip. No pressure.
Yeah. I'm gonna say July 26th.
Oh, actually, not too far off, but it's the 21st.
21st.
Yeah, you were
that's
pretty
crazy.
Close,
You gotta follow your gut, folks. Because my first thought was July 21st.
Really?
Because 21's my favorite number, so I'll just naturally gravitate
It's your favorite
right
podcast.
towards it. What's that?
And this is your favorite podcast.
Duh.
So it works out.
So yeah, there was the link.
The more life. But no, yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say originally, and then I kind of thought about it a little bit more and tripped up because you said late July, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go a little bit later. But the reality is, it is gonna be a birthday drop for you, pretty much, because I'm thinking about the song coming out on Friday the 18th.
Okay.
And I was, because the video is already done, which is a really nice feeling, helps me sleep at night. But I was thinking about maybe a Sunday drop of the video, which would be the 20th. But maybe for you, and because 21 is my favorite number,
it would line up pretty well.
we might start off a fresh week with a music video drop on Monday the 21st.
That could be nice.
You heard it here first.
Get the people going.
Yeah, yeah, nice
Fresh start to the
provocative
week.
start to the week.
I like the sound of that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna beat around the bush with you guys.
Since you've been talking, I've been kind of able to kind of read you a little bit. Now I'm trying to guess your birthday. I think it's
Well, I already said it on this
You did?
podcast.
Yeah, he did say it.
where was I?
Same as the Bills, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That doesn't
Yeah,
mean
that's
you'd
right.
remember though.
Exactly.
What month do you think it is if you don't remember?
So I remember now.
Okay.
But I was
yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
December. So
Okay, cool.
You've been kind of close, though.
within 2. I wanted to touch on your music career again, but because I don't think we need to kind of discuss this. I'm assuming you just didn't go like straight into rapping. Like, how'd you kind of get your musical start? Whether it was like singing or like in a band or whatever. What did you do for that?
Yeah, I wrote my first song when I was 17. And it kind of just happened because I was a freshman in college. I was a youngin'. And I just had an excess amount of free time.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. I went to college. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I only got class Monday through Thursday, and they're not that long. It's so nice going from high school to college.
It is. Yeah, that transition is pretty cool.
It's so
Especially in the
great.
early phases before you're like really concentrated in a certain field.
Yeah, exactly. And like I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, so I'm saying that to paint the picture of like everything is so regimented. Like you get up so early, and then you like, you know, especially if someone like more ADHD like me, like sitting through school was a nightmare, and then you got practice, and you go home, you got homework. Jesus, what a grind high school is. And then to go from that to being like on your own and having so much more free time in college felt so good. And it was like, you know, it's cliche, but for a reason, it really gave me an opportunity to kind of like find out a lot more about myself and what interests me. You know, I grew up in a small town, and my life really revolved around sports. From like as early as I can remember, I got a little brother, and we bonded over it heavily. We were always outside playing catch with football or baseball or shooting hoops, and we played when we were inside. We were playing video games, Madden, 2K, baseball, shit, whatever. And it was really, you know, I got a little bit older, and my second pastime was partying, and so it was either sports or parties, and you know, real small town mindsets. And which nothing wrong with that by any means. I had an absolute blast doing those things. But then I got to college and met, you know, I was in a more diverse atmosphere.
Yep.
And I had more free time on my hands, and no one was telling me what to do. So that really allowed me to explore a lot more creative avenues. I kind of was always had the creativity in different ways, but I was sitting on some time, and it was like kind of the peak, well, not the peak. It was like the beginning stages of Mac Miller coming up and becoming, you know, getting bigger and bigger, and I was a huge fan. And you know, there's always someone that just opens the door to anything of like, he kind of showed people that like, okay, you can do this. Like anyone can do this. This is attainable. And it was like in the stages of where like at home recording equipment was becoming a more regularly available thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So, that I wrote my first song when I was 17, and it was a rap. And I just kind of been rapping ever since. I always knew in the back of my mind I was gonna make like different types of music, and there was gonna be a lot of diversity at some point, but I wasn't gonna force it. I really had to work on that and develop that quite a bit. But rapping was always where it started, and still what I'm doing today.
Nice. Now, you mentioned you were a 3-sport athlete. I know you said you played football, so I'm assuming
Yep.
that's one. What were the other two?
I played football, basketball, and baseball.
Nice. So I know you have a song reference to basketball, right? I know we're not big basketball guys. Was it Jalen Brunson?
Oh, yep. I have a song titled Jalen Brunson, point guard on the Knicks. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, we're not big basketball guys, so we can't really dabble into that world much. But I don't know. Mike's kind of a baseball guy a little bit. So
I mean,
you follow the Yankees, or who's your team?
Yeah. I Major League Baseball would be one of the sports I don't follow as closely as some other ones, but I am a big Yankees fan. Yeah, I like to go to a game at least once a year.
Oh, nice.
Damn. Have you traveled to different like ballparks, or have they all been kind of like Yankee Stadium?
I've been to Toronto, saw
Yep.
the Blue Jays. I have gone to Cleveland, saw the Guardians. Been to Pittsburgh a couple times. I've been to Baltimore, Camden Yards, really nice stadium there. I'm actually going to a Pirates game in July.
Oh, okay.
In between the song drop and the music video on the 19th.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to a Pirates game, and they are doing first 20,000 fans get a Mac Miller bobblehead.
Really?
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, super
Oh,
cool.
he's from Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
Yeah. that's what I thought.
Yep. So, yeah, been to a couple different stadiums now. I don't
Pittsburgh
think I'm missing one.
Yeah, Pittsburgh they're a pretty notable
That's a nice
stadium.
one.
Like that's
Oh, that's a
one
nice
of the best
one.
in the
Yeah.
league, I think, right? With the city backdrop.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly breathtaking. Like
Yeah.
anybody would enjoy a night at PNC Park. There in
Baltimore's very
Pittsburgh.
nice too. That
Yeah,
stadium.
that's
Camden
why I
Yards,
me-
beautiful.
That's why I mentioned it as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, they're notable for being a really nice spot, and it's true they are.
Yeah, I'm not really a big baseball guy, but I did actually go to my first baseball game. This was a couple years ago. I went to a Blue Jays game. I don't even remember who they were playing. I just happened to be in Toronto, and I was with who's my fiance now. But she.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We were just like, let's go to a Blue Jays game. So we went, and honestly had a great time. I wasn't expecting, because I've never been to
Yeah,
baseball.
they're more fun to go to in person than on TV.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played the sport and loved the shit out of it. I actually played baseball collegiately, and I was a pretty good pitcher. And that's why I said, like, as far as the major leagues, it's kind of tough for me to follow with 162 games.
No, I agree. Yeah.
It's really excessive. They honestly should cut that down. But, and like, I still have a lot of love for the game, but going to the ballpark is a special experience, and it's something that honestly I would advocate for everyone to do once a year. Once a year, go to a Bison's game.
Yeah, even the Bisons, they have a nice. It can be a nice night out.
It's a good to go with the boys. It's a great date night to take the lady to. Very relatively inexpensive.
Yep.
For a couple tickets, you could buy yourself a beer and get her a milkshake, ice cream, whatever, and you're gonna spend probably less than $50 or right around that, which is a pretty cheap date for like being outside and getting to enjoy the atmosphere.
For sure, and sometimes they do like certain events, like a Star Wars night, or like they do that kind of stuff too. So
Yeah, minor league baseball is really cool. If you are in a situation where you can go watch a minor league baseball game of any type, I say it's the move.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we have such elite summers here in Western New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful. Any excuse you can get out, especially to be outside in the evenings and enjoying it, you gotta go all in on it.
Gotta do it. Obviously, we've talked a good amount so far about kind of how you got started in music, how your creative process is. What does it look like with like live events and like when you perform somewhere?
I'd say they're lively. Yeah,
I like that.
To keep it clear,
It's a good description.
Yeah, they're intimate, and I don't hold back at all. I'm really inspired by amazing live performances and try and take bits and pieces from different people I've seen before. and
Zero.
it's a fun blend of rapping, singing, and as a true entertainer, I'll always do something to keep the crowd on their toes of like, you didn't see that coming. Like it comes something completely out of left field that you'll remember. And, you know, next time you have opportunity to see me, you'll be like, yeah, last time I saw him, he did this or this happened. And just a bit of a show pony, if you will.
That's good. That's important because there's a lot of, I mean, we're talking huge artists. There's a lot of huge artists out there that are, you know, good at making music, producing stuff, but you go see them live and it's just like, it can be very underwhelming sometimes.
It really
So,
can,
if you're a
and
pro-
vice versa.
Yeah,
You can just be out and about at a random bar, or, you know, your buddy's a big fan of someone, so you go to the show with your friend, and there's like a random opening act that just was like unreal, like unbelievable, and you never even heard of them before that night, and then, you know, you look them up and you find out they're dope, or you might look them up and find out they're even underwhelming. Their discography doesn't resonate with you, but watching them live was you know, some noteworthy, was something you tell people about. So, you know, it is a very separate skill, I would say. Just being able to have a stage presence and to be able to entertain people in person.
Yeah, I mean, live stuff in general. I mean, me and Mike know how it is to just like pre-record stuff, edit it, all that stuff, then you put it out. But when you're live, I mean, everyone's watching you. So as far as performing go, do you ever get like maybe little butterflies here and there, or?
Oh, you know, very little, but like you always feel it a little bit because you love it. You care about it so much. Like if you don't feel that at all, then something's off.
No, that's a good
Something's
point.
a little bit off, you know, like, but I get really excited and amped up, and you know, a lot of preparation going into it will help ease it from becoming overwhelming at all. But here's a cool fun fact about that I think is fun to share. I'm pretty sure this still happens to this day because it's superstitious to him now. But fun fact about our guy Josh Allen is he yaks before every single game.
Yeah. That is just weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's because he loves this shit, man. Yeah. And I'm sure he'd say something similarly, like he just loves it and is so passionate about it that, like, you know, there's some butterflies that come along with that, but not too much though, because it's like a release of expression and energy for me, and makes me feel very alive. So I'm generally very excited to get out there.
Nice. Do you have anything upcoming that we can look forward to, or?
Yeah. I have a big show coming in Buffalo. It will be in September, and I will be sharing the details. I don't know when this is coming out, but I would think I'll be sharing the details, the poster, all that fun stuff, probably right around the same time that this drops. It'll be, the announcement will happen in July. So yeah, I'm doing a show in Buffalo coming up. I'm super excited about it. It's been a long time coming, and actually, I'm performing a couple songs tonight at one of my friends' birthdays.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, he makes music as well, and we're gonna have some live music at his birthday party.
I just thought of this on the spot right now, but let's say for the September show, hopefully we can both go. If we brought the flag, could you sign it on the spot?
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be sweet.
That would be, I think so.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you guys the date. Not like right
off
now.
The pod.
Yeah, off pod. I'm gonna tell you guys the date, which means that you have ample opportunity to make the appropriate arrangements to be there.
For sure. Yeah, we will.
I'll make sure you guys have a good time for sure.
You mentioned the kind of like live performances. Mm-hmm. Is there one specific one that you've been to that sticks out to you, like a specific artist? You're like, oh, that was an amazing show. Like
the two best shows I ever went to, in their own way. This is crazy too, because I seen Mac 3 times, and he is an unbelievable performer. But I think the two best, craziest shows I ever saw was I saw Oliver Tree live at Madison Square Garden, and that was like tough to even put into words. I would imagine he probably had no less than 100K, but maybe more in just like theatrics and props.
Wow.
And like wildness, and super legendary. I saw Usher. The line in Dopehead and Mopeds.
I know, I
is
heard
spot
that.
on. Yeah, I saw Usher in Vegas a couple years ago, and it's tough to top that. I mean, he's one of the best performers of our lifetime, and his residency there was super legendary, and we had really good seats, and it was an unbelievable show, very inspirational. Those are probably like the two of the most noteworthy shows I ever saw, but Mac Miller is really, really good live too, and Chris Webby is also. I saw him in Rochester at a bar, and he was incredible as well.
Nice. Yeah, shout out Rochester. Mike's a big Rochester guy. That's where he lives.
That's what's up, 585 baby.
That's right.
I love Rochester. I have like a Tommy, my visuals guy. He is born and raised in Rochester.
Okay.
And my relationship with him has allowed me to have some amazing experiences in Rochester.
Yeah, it's a fun little city for sure. I like to say like it's similar to Buffalo. It's like
Very.
definitely smaller, but it's not the same. But definitely some common interests and kind of common vibe there.
Yeah,
sure.
it's very similar. You guys have some really, really nice water as well right around Rochester, and I love that. A lot of good culture, low key,
No,
in
for
Rochester.
sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you boys.
All right.
Whoever wants to go first. What was the best live performance you've ever seen, or one or two of the most notable that you have great memories from?
I have one.
You have one? All right,
Yeah.
let's start.
Okay. Got to see Post Malone at the KeyBank Center a couple years ago, and I've always been a big fan of his music. He puts like his heart and soul into the show, which I appreciate. Like you can tell, we weren't that close, but you could tell he was put it all out there. He means like every word of his lyrics, and just he gets so into it. And his music sounds great. So that was a great experience for me.
Yeah, and he's just a generational talent in every
Oh,
way,
yeah.
shape, and form. Icon, yeah.
He's versatile too. I mean,
He
he's
is.
going more like a country route right now, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah, a lot of people find that to be something that they'll knock people for, but I admire the shit out of that. I look up to people's work ethic, and I look up to people's like versatility as an artist, and yeah, I think Post is absolutely amazing for that reason.
yeah, well, thinking about it, I haven't been to a lot of concerts. I've only been to maybe 3 or 4. Logic was pretty cool. He was at Darien Lake. He was a good entertainer, I'd say, in a sense of. I remember he brought I can't remember what it was exactly, but they were playing video games like during the intermission to like give him a rest from his voice and stuff. He was just playing video games with like he'd just pick out a couple fans, have them come up on stage. They're playing like Mario Kart. It was pretty sweet, but
Yeah, that's
he
so
was,
cool.
He was pretty cool. And then this is kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't expect myself to say this answer, but I went to a Justin Bieber concert probably 3 or 4 years ago, and you can just tell the guy is just like a seasoned veteran in performing. Like he is
sure.
just
Yeah.
like insane at performing.
Well, he got his start at our middle school or at our high school. So Justin Bieber,
Middle school, yeah.
middle school.
One of his
So-
first shows, yeah.
So there was like when he was like just starting, there was like this type of like contest thing where like middle schools competed to see who could raise the most like money, but all in pennies. And then the winner got like a concert from like an artist, like a no-name artist. And I guess over the course of the contest going on, Justin Bieber became like huge, just like kind of not overnight, but like very quickly became very big. So one of his like not first concert, but one of his
Right.
early concerts was at our like middle school.
I don't know if it was at our middle
Wow.
school, but like yeah, it was for our middle school. Yeah.
Well,
it was
either
pretty
at the
crazy.
high school or middle school, one of the two.
Yeah, so that I just learned. One of Justin Bieber's first shows was at a middle school in New York. One of Drake's first shows ever was at
That's right.
Damon
Yeah,
College.
yeah.
That's right.
Our
Here
one
in
friend who went to Damon likes to remind us of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 15 plus years ago now, but
Yeah, I remember he shouted out Damon College, and I I don't know, recent album or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
that
that's
and
sweet.
the Galleria
The
Mall he
Galleria
shouted out too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're from Toronto, I would guess that you have some cultural ties to Buffalo.
You have to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the first city you hit when you cross the border,
Yeah.
really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I want to say too is it reminded me of when you were talking about the live performances. I got to go to like a music festival last year for the first time, and that was such a cool experience. Like
What
seeing-
festival?
It was what's the name of it? Ocean's Calling in Ocean City, Maryland,
Nice.
last September, and a lot of different artists, a lot of classic rock, a lot of alternative, some R&B. It was a very wide range and mix of people, and just seeing how different everyone performs and kind of their vibe on stage was just so cool.
I think that's the best.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the absolute best. That's why I love going. Like, I keep a very open mind, and doesn't matter who you are, what kind of music you make, I'm gonna give you a fair shot to win me over. And yeah, it is really, really cool to see what some people pull out of their hat.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. Stay tuned for that Slipfish show. Where can the people find you?
My music's everywhere. Just
Slipfish,
type
one word?
Yeah, 2 words.
2 words?
Yep, just type Slipfish in there, and you can find me anywhere there. Got some nice visuals for you on YouTube. And as far as social medias, I am at the real Slipfish everywhere, but real is spelled REEL, of course.
All right.
Of course.
Yeah, that at the real Slipfish, you can find me everywhere. There's some cool stuff going on, and yeah,
Well, we want to
you
thank.
can find me on the MMore Life Podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we very much appreciate you coming on the pod and sitting here, taking time out of your day and schedule and talking with us. I think it was a very successful episode. This is probably one of our better ones in a while, Mike. What do you think?
I liked it. I thought it was awesome.
Dude, it was my pleasure. It was super cool that you guys reached out, and I appreciate the love and support. And the fact that anyone listens to my music at all is a crazy blessing that I'm very grateful for. So I appreciate you guys a lot.
Sweet. And with that,
This has been the MMore Life Podcast.